Who's there? Open up. That's what's up. Hey, come out and play. It's SWA, Bitcoin Stamp, all day. SRC20 protocol. Let's get at it, people. I see one out here. Can I see two? Uno, dos, tres, cuatros. Let's bring them out. I'm about to do the international greeting. That's the universal greeting, peeps. Hey, I'm going to post this in the Discord. Give me a second and I'm going to start the universal greeting. Do not go anywhere because we want you to come out and play. People are going to pop in all day. Let's see how long this space can go today. Hey, I think I'm feeling kind of quirky. Why? Because looks like I am, peeps, it looks like I'm, did I get this right? I think I might have beat him. Oh my God, we both got in there. Anyhow, thanks for that. Whoever put that in the back room in the back chats. But let's get at it. You know, one of these days I'm going to surprise us all and I'm going to do this whole entire show in another language. Yeah, I really am. But I'll just stick to English right now. Beijing! Ni hao. London! Hello, top of the morning to you. Okay, I'll stop that. For now, because I do feel a little bit quirky. Los Angeles, hey, Paris, bonjour. Hey, by the way, Paris, guess what I'm doing? I am watching a Netflix show, and I'm watching it all in Francais. Absolutely, because I want to learn French. So I took off the subtitles, and I am just immersing myself in the show. I have no clue what they're saying, but I did get Les Enfants, Cuisine. What else did I get? They said Formidable, so I think I'm kind of getting it. I really am. Lisbon, hola. Hey peeps, you know what's going to happen in Lisbon? There's going to be a conference out in Lisbon. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. That's coming, and we're going to talk more about that. That'll happen in June, people. Get your passports ready. Get your tickets ready because Lisbon is going to have an NFT conference. Gonna be pretty cool. Hong Kong, hello. How are you, Hong Kong? You just seem to be like ahead of everything. Like it's follow the leader. It looks like Hong Kong is just leading us to the promised land of crypto and everything that is the future of crypto currently. Sweden, hey, would love to go to Sweden. Pretty cool place. You know what I love? I love the T-Dot. Toronto, good day. Hey, yes, Toronto. OMG, you got that Doug Ford out there. He's just, clapping back at the 47. Good for you. Tokyo, konnichiwa. Yeah, everybody wants to go to Tokyo. And Turkey. Turkey's quite beautiful, actually. Very, very beautiful landscape in Turkey. Merhaba, Turkey. If I'm missing your native tongue, why don't you send me a little message? Yeah, you know what you should do? You should actually go to bitcoinuniverse.io, head over to tools. Actually, head over to names first. Head over to names. Go register a name to your wallet, Addie, and head over to tools, hit chat, find me, True D Art, because my name is True D Art, and let me know what your native tongue is, and I'll put it on the list. How about that? Now, this is the Universe Wallet. It's an indexer. It's an explorer. It's minting. It's a marketplace. Oh, I'm stretching. That's what I'm doing. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? All on Bitcoin. You know what I wanted to say? You know what? I wanted to say tap. I really did. But there's been a wonderful upgrade, people. The branding is just so beautiful. Want to thank the back rooms and the back chats and the people that they have and the special places that they do, the universe, because I got to tell you, I think they're doing a great job. The branding is just on point, very clean. So tapwallet.io has been now elevated, yes, people, to bitcoinuniverse.io, unleashing Bitcoin's full potential, making the universe wallet. In fact, it is your all-in-one solution for all your assets in one place with full support. Okay, I have a roll call. Yeah, I got a roll call, so I'm going to do it. BRC20, anybody out here? But listen, this is a stamp day, so I'm not going to give you too much props here, but I'm going to do the roll call. BRC20, I see you. Dust 20, 546, baby. Tap. Double tap. Oh, hope it's not a double tap. My goodness. DMT. Holy, I know you out there. UNAT, Runes, LRC20, Lambda. Yeah, baby. Lambda. Man, we got to talk more about Lambda someday. Hey, Atomicals people. Dang. When they come out, these people like to play pretty hard, the Atomicals people. And you know what I did for them yesterday? I plugged them yesterday. Yes, I did. I really, really did. Okay. SRC20. Come up to the front. Okay. Come up to the front of the line. Grab your microphone because it's going to be your mic all day. Okay. Stamp. Some people out here playing with Stamp, coming at us in the CT timeline. Does anybody even like Stamp anymore? Yeah, they like Stamp. You want to come and play? Come on. Come up to the mic, okay? I'll spit some fire. Hey, but I'll be kind to you. You know why, peeps? Because we really, really need to be kind to one another. Yeah, we do. That's why I'm about to tell you or about to ask some questions. Now, I always say before we get started, helpful reminder, this is not financial advice. You got to do your own research. And often people wonder, how do you do research? Well, actually, you got to ask questions. Peeps, I don't know, but we love to make statements. Yeah, myself included. But we got to ask questions. So the first one, I have a prop. People, can you hear this? Listen, I got to get the microphone ready. Oh my God, there's so much going on in crypto. We got to get excited. But here, microphone, okay? Yeah. ASMR. Yeah. Do you hear? That was water. Do you have your water ready? Oh my goodness. Hey, and do you have a blood pressure monitor? I'm being totally serious, by the way. Okay. I watch the CT timeline, and you peeps are out there grinding all day thinking you don't need water. You're thinking that you don't need a blood pressure monitor. Well, you know what? I may add to the list. Do you have a will? Yeah, I'm going to probably add that because some of you, and you know who you are, you're out in these trenches, you're grinding, and I don't think you get it. Like, unless you're an AI, because they literally don't need any of the stuff that I'm asking, then you're going to need a blood pressure monitor, okay? What have you done for yourself lately? Let me tell you something, okay? You better head over to that mirror right now. Yeah, right now. Okay, now I'm starting to sound like I'm your mom, but I'm going to do it for a couple seconds. I don't really care if you don't like this, okay? Head over to the mirror. I'm looking at the mirror. Mirror check. What have you done for yourself lately? Yeah, everybody is calling you, asking you to do stuff for them. Maybe you should go to the mirror, okay? Do the telephone sign to your head. Call yourself and say, hey, can you do something for me? Can you maybe take a break and be kind to yourself? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now we got to head into crypto currently. We're going to talk about the FOMC. We're going to talk about what's happening, but we're mostly going to talk about Stamp and all the fire, the heat that is coming towards Stamp. Why are people in the Bitcoin verse getting so feisty with Stamp? Like, seriously, they're getting feisty. Like, eee. Oh my gosh. Like, you would think Stamp is like the prodigal child or something. The prodigal. Yeah, the way they're behaving. We're going to get the signet ring. Hope you know that one from the ancient text. Hey, let me see who's out here. Hopefully people aren't thinking I'm too wacky here, but I got to get it. And sorry, backroom back chats. I thought I was to load that in the Discord. Thankfully, you did. I won't do that next time unless I'm told to do that. But very, very good that that's there. Hopefully, people will roll on in here. Who is here, by the way? Let me go and see if anybody's here. Sometimes, you know what I do? Literally, I'm not even on the page that I'm supposed to be on. I'm on other pages. Yeah, I'm just on other pages in my own universe, really. Oh, God, it's so exhausting being me. But I do it. I do it. Okay, let me see who's here. Yeah, let's just let me get out here and ask the Bitcoin ape to unmute himself. Please unmute yourself so that we can chat. Because it's Stamp today, so you're not going to be able to just hide in the back room and not say anything. It is Stamp. Please unmute yourself, mister. And let me see who else is out here. And let's see if we are going to have a little chitty chatty about the market. The market. Yeah, while I'm waiting for someone to unmute themselves to get in and start playing here with me. Playing with me like it's a play date. It is a play date. Okay, let's see what's happening out there. Bitcoin ape, hopefully you can come on out here. Okay, so here's what we got today. We've got the FOMC meeting happening. And so here, let's see. Okay, let's go to the Wall Street Journal. Maybe they will let us in here. Some of these people have walls to their information. Okay, Fed meeting today. Dow gains ahead of FOMC interest rate decision. How do we think that's going to go? Investors also await comments from Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
What's up, Juliet?
Oh my goodness! You just popped up on me. I hear you.
Cool. Please go ahead. You were talking about the Fed, isn't it?
Yes. Like, I'm waiting for you, and then you just snuck up on me. I'm like, oh my God, he just. Okay. Hey, I
was no rug, something like that, maybe because of the Fed, trying to rug us, don't say the truth that, they're going to get the rate. No? What do you think?
Yeah, let me get into it. And then I always like to get your perspective because I find that you are a wealth of knowledge, sir. And it helps me to stay grounded. So let me just share a little bit. I snuck into the Wall Street Journal's back rooms, and I'm getting some of their material. So let me just share it with us, okay? And then I'll ask you to comment on it, and then help us to understand what is being said, sir, okay? So listen, guys, I'm going to use some quotes here. And when I use quotes, I do like to give people credit for their words, because these are not my words. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Okay. Stocks are back. Really? Okay. On the rise ahead of the Fed Reserve interest rate decision. The Fed is expected to keep rates on hold Wednesday. That's today. And pencil in 1 or 2 more cuts for this year. Chairman Jerome Powell's comments may give clues about the Fed's approach to tariffs, which pose a challenge by threatening to slow growth and quicken inflation at the same time. Overseas, Turkish markets, tumbled after the arrest of Istanbul's mayor, a leading political opponent to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Oh, what? There's some stuff happening in Turkey. Oh my God. Okay, here's some other things that are happening. U.S. stock indexes advanced with the NASDAQ composite leading the way. OMG. Okay, so on Tuesday, stocks resumed their recent decline, yanked lower by a slide in NVIDIA and other big tech. So there's quite a bit going on here. My goodness. Yeah, we'll have to look into what's happening with Turkey. But The Fed is meeting, and it is expected that he is going to actually do what most are believing he'll do, which is absolutely nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. So, others are saying, now I'm jumping over to Cointelegraph. Bitcoin may recover to 90K amid easing inflation concerns after the FOMC meeting. Now, investor sentiment hinges on the FOMC meeting and the Fed's uh, uh, signals, which may sway Bitcoin's next price move, according to crypto analysts. You know, I wish we were not so swayed by all of this stuff, but that's how it's going here. Bitcoin may stage a recovery above the key 90,000. That's a psychological mark, by the way, amid easing monetary inflation concerns in the world's largest economy. So Bitcoin's price around 84,588, changing as I literally speak, people. Over 2-month downtrend has raised numerous alarms that the current Bitcoin bull cycle may be over. Do you see what they're doing here? You see what they're doing? My God. Okay, let me just continue. Defying the theory of the 4-year market cycle. Despite widespread investor concerns, Bitcoin may be on the track to recovery above 90,000 due to easing inflation concerns in the United States, according to Marcus Thyssen, the CEO of 10x Research. You know, unbelievable. 1 minute they're bullish, next minute they're bearish. Do you see what they're doing? I mean,
Wow.
they're just trying to get into your brain computer, people. Okay, so here's a quote now. This is what this Marcus Thielen is saying. He's saying, we can see some counter trend rally as prices are oversold, and there's good chance that the Fed is mildly dovish. That is what he's saying. This is not a major bullish development, rather some fine-tuning from the policymakers. We think Bitcoin will be in a broader consolidation range, but we could trade back towards 90,000. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit more, and then I'm going to ask you to jump in here. Okay, investor confidence may also be improved by Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's comments indicating that the Fed will remain on hold amid rising uncertainty among households and businesses. Interesting. Powell also expressed doubts about the sustained inflationary impact of Trump's tariffs, referencing the 2019 scenario where tariff-related inflation was temporary. Is he kidding me? Is he kidding me? Does he need to sit down with me? And the Fed eventually cuts rates 3 times. Listen, I heard a lot of conflicting information, and I think for me that was set on purpose. But what are your thoughts on this rate cut and anything that might have been said or anything that you want to share with us?
Wow, that's insane. What you have written about all the peeps changing their mind from minute to another. That's insane. So today is a great day. I think it's one of the most important day of the year because as you see, today there is some market now is quite good today, but if nothing happen on the market, I think we can go deeper, in my opinion, because the market now really needs some green signal from the Fed, and they need some liquidity. Mostly, the stock market needs some liquidity, and also the crypto basically need liquidity. But the most important thing is that the U.S. economy need that kind of rate cut to anticipate any recession. I don't have any crystal ball to know if there will there will be a recession or not, but I think this is what Trump is trying to do. And by the way, this dude is a billionaire and is making politics for billionaires. So I don't think that he's thinking about his politic, what impact could have his politic on the people, like the small people or the people, not the billionaires. And I think what he's trying to do is, to fight against the Fed, to get, these low, to get some liquidity and low interest rate, and of course, to have a weak dollar, because US need a weak dollar and Trump need a weak dollar if you want um, to convince the people, and that he's doing what he said. What he says he would like to reindustrialize the US economy and getting a larger share of the industry in the economy. But you need a weak dollar. When you have a weak dollar, you can sell cheaper your product to the world. But you have to balance this politic, because it could get the entire US economy in recession because of that kind of politics. What I mean by that, is that uh, he's trying to get a recession for sure, and making people back on track in new industry, and also trying to get lower rate, and in the long term trying to reindustrialize the US economy. But in the short term, unfortunately, it is the people who will pay the bill. But I don't know. Don't have a crystal ball, frankly speaking, today. But mostly of the economists, when they anticipate a recession, it's not happening. So let's see what will happen today. But I think today it will be a very important day for not only the US economy, but also some economy who are, like quite connected with the US economy, and mostly all the economy, because we are in an interconnected world, basically. So very important day, I think, from uh, what will the Fed say today. So please go ahead, Shaka. I think you would like to do good. Sorry, if you would like to add anything. Hey, Shaka. Hello. Do you hear me?
Oh, hello. I'm just hearing the conversation. I'm from Kenya. Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
I'm from Kenya. Yeah, thank you. So I'm just trying to understand this conversation. Yeah.
And what do you think about about today, the red cut from the Fed? Do you think there is a red cut, or do you think they will not cut the rate, or any topic you would like to talk about? Maybe other topics. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. But I've not understand this conversation well, but I'm trying to catch up with you guys.
I got you. You're from Kenya.
Sure.
You're trying to catch up with us. I got a question for the Bitcoin ape. And then Shaka, I would like to just ask you some questions too. So I heard you say that DT could potentially be trying to weaken the dollar, bring on a recession, and our minds would like to understand that. But I do know that if the U.S. exports become cheaper to foreigners as a potential dollar weakens, the foreigners can get more U.S. dollars for the same amount of their currency to buy American goods. So foreigners can essentially buy US goods at a discount when the dollar is weaker, even though the price of the exported goods hasn't changed. So think about that. Is DT trying to make the United States one giant Walmart? Yeah, one giant Walmart. The place where we all go. I mean, when Walmart, or maybe one giant Amazon. Hey, peeps, People like cheap stuff. So is he trying to do what the Bitcoin ape is saying? So could you explain that to us? Like you said, DT is trying to weaken the dollar, maybe cause a recession. Why would he be doing that?
I think this is not his, his main, focus, frankly, to get a recession. But the thing is, um, if what it's trying to do basically, it's trying first, when you see it's trying to close the border, and what that means, closing the border, is mean that the price of the workforce will be more higher. The hourly price per hour. What I want to say. The workforce will be more expensive to get, and also is now making like a commercial war with Europe, with China, with even with Canada and Mexico. Is everywhere. It's like a world war, commercial world war from Trump. So that means for the U.S. consumer, that means that the price is gonna go up. All the price gonna go up, because of course, if you increase the price of anything, this is the last customers, the retail, who are paying the price of this commercial war, and everything gonna go up. So unfortunately, when everything go up, people are not buying, or are saving, or kind of things. And also with this politic of reindustrialization, is trying to get on track the US people on this new, can say, industrial 2.0 industrial economy, uh, for the next maybe 5 years. And other price, of course, gonna have, because the price of the the labor force is more expensive. So all that kind of factors will could bring in the short term a recession, because first everything go up. Also the financial market will be like not a scare, but febrile, or scare of the inflation going up, and not be sure where Trump would like to go with his, and if his politics will work. So for the financial market, it's like not quite good for them. It's not stable. You know what I mean? And so the market could go down, and this is why for the short term you can see a recession. And now I see the things, but I may be completely wrong. It's only my 2 cents for that, but I think for the long term we can be optimistic, because for sure it's trying to isolate the country, but I don't think that isolation could work, because we are living in a interconnected world. Everything is interconnected. Every country, the people, the economies. So it's quite hard now to unconnect. You can't unconnect from pushing a button and say, yeah, I'm connecting any country in the world can't be unconnected by pushing a button and closing your border for everything. So let's see what will happen. Maybe he will change his mind if if the Fed also don't want to follow him. So if they don't read the cut, for sure they don't want to follow his politics for the short term, for sure. But now you can say in the midterm or long term, for sure, the Fed will have to cut the rate. And maybe that's why Trump also is trying to push for not a recession, but telling to show to to the Fed that if they are not rating cutting the rate, it's going for recession. So let's see what will happen. I hope that the Fed will cut the rate, sorry,
Right.
and bring in liquidity, because I think that's what he's looking for now Trump, for the short term, bringing liquidity in the market.
Yeah, well,
I think
if
that's
they can
main target.
if they can be the Walmart of the world, then it's cheaper for the world to come to the United States to buy its goods. So you're absolutely right. It's not as though he wants to do these things, but hey, he's accelerating some of the obvious, right? Because he wants to get things popping for the US of A. And he's got to get Mr. Powell to agree with them. So he's going to get his way. He's going to get his
For
way,
sure.
it sounds like. So there's many advantages as you're talking for the U.S. to have a strong dollar versus a weak dollar, depending on what they want to do. But it looks like DT wants to be the place where everybody comes and it buys its goods, therefore giving America and the American people advantages for living in America, because if they're selling us everything, they're the new China. They're going to sell us everything. We're going to come there, and they're going to be where we buy all of our goods, right? And they'll be collecting all the monies. How interesting is that? That meeting is about to take place in less than 15 minutes, so we'll keep our eye on that.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's too bad that Shaka, from Kenya. I'm just wondering if you wouldn't mind becoming a speaker again, because I kind of wanted to just talk to you for a second. Think about that if you would, because I'd like to find out a little bit about you. What brings you to crypto currently, and then specifically what brings you to Bitcoin, and even what brings you to Stamp? Have you been involved in the Stamp ecosystem? Yeah, that's what it is. So if you may want to consider that coming back, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Hey, Bitcoin 8, while he's thinking about what he's going to do, can you tell us what you're doing? Like, you're like the head of Binance now? What's going on?
Yes, indeed. I was, in talk with DZ, not easy DZ, the others, Binance CEO. No, I'm joking, but DZ, is like the guy who's managing the Binance Square, and he was looking
Tell us
for
what Binance
to get
Square
you
is.
involved.
Can you tell us what it is first, so we will know?
Binance?
No, Binance Square specifically. What is Binance Square?
Binance Square, yeah, it's like the social media of Binance. And the thing is now, they got a new feature. And the new feature is you can connect your Twitter account to your your Binance Square account. So every time that I'm posting my own post on Twitter, I'm posting anything. My posts are also available on Binance Square. So there's great things, that that kind of feature that now you can also connect your Twitter to Binance Square. And the thing is, he asked me if I would like to be a call for Binance Square through my account. So like key opinion leader on Binance Square. I say, yeah, why not? Maybe I can share my opinion, my view to the Binance people, to the Binance users. So it's a great step, frankly speaking, very small step for them, but a giant step for the SRC20 and Stamps ecosystem. Like that, I can bring my my view and my 2 cents to Binance Square, and what I think about crypto, and mostly sharing about, of course, about stamps and SRC20, and hopefully, trying to educate as well some users of Binance. So let's see. There is also a lot of option on their social media. I think you can create like a live video and things like that. So it could be interesting to make live video on their Binance Square, and maybe trying to get some noise, because it is the more noise we do, maybe CZ and all the team, will listen to us. But yeah, very great and very great people in Binance Square, like DZ, very, very kind guy and very helpful. So he helped me to connect my Twitter to the Binance Square. So I hope that, we'd get some users and of Binance to know about us.
Very cool. So yeah, no, I'm hearing you. So Binance Square is a social networking content platform where every user can share their thoughts, discover the latest news and trends, and participate in community discussions about anything and everything related to crypto and Web3. And it looks like you went through a process to become one of the key opinion leaders there. How can we support you specifically for this Binance Square, since you're going to be one of the key opinion leaders there? That's kind of cool.
So if you have an account, a Binance account, you can connect to Binance, and or even if you don't have a Binance account, I think it could be quite interesting to get a Binance account right now, because I know that in the US Binance is coming back for sure in the months to come. So it could be great, to get your Binance account. And then, when you got your Binance account, you can follow me, comment, like, it could be good, or share, the post.
Could you pin that where we follow you? Would you mind doing that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, because we
Yeah.
want to support you, because you're a stamp evangelist. So we got to give you the support, sir. Hey, by the way, you could need a VPN, people. You're in North America. You're not getting in that square. Yeah, you're not. You cannot.
You can't?
No, you cannot. If you are in North America, another North American, pipe up here and tell me if you've been able to get in that square. You're going to need a VPN. I'm being serious here. Okay. I might have taken a visit to Portugal. I might have. Okay. I might have.
Oh,
Wink, wink.
you are going to Portugal?
Yeah, no, she's so crypto. Might
Cool.
have gone to Portugal. Check your followers. That's all I'm saying. Okay. We'll talk more about that in the back chats in the back room. But if you're in North America, I don't think you're going to get in there. Any North American want to pipe up here and tell me about that? Have you been able to open up an account? If you're living in
With Binance US, no?
I don't think so.
Oh, you can't connect to Binance US? I know there is, but I think it's a limited account. Binance US, a very limited account.
Mm-hmm.
There is not all the pairs. You can't trade all the crypto. So
I don't even think you can sign up for that. Someone tell me if they were able to do that successfully, being in North America. Let me know. But you've pinned it there, and that's your
yeah,
Square account.
yes, indeed. There is the link on my Binance Square account. So please feel free to follow me, to connect, and like the post, or share the post, or even DM me on Binance Square. I think there is like a DM when people can text message and all the things. So feel free, folks, to DM me or anything. Most welcome, by the way.
Yeah, please feel free.
And the more noise, of course, the more noise we do on Binance Square, the more I think the Binance team will have an eye on us. But because they have an eye on us, but now you have to make more noise. So make some noise, folks. Make some noise.
Yeah, make some noise. You know who's making noise right now? I am laughing my guts out. Alex Jones. Okay, I don't know if you people know who Alex Jones is. This man.
What is doing?
Oh my God! I don't know. He warms my heart with laughter. He's doing a live space right now. Live terror alert. The desperate Democrat. Oh my God. People, I mean, if you want to go deeper in the cray sauce, there is some crazy stuff going on though. I don't know who's doing it, so I'm not going to call people names because people don't like to be called names other than their name that they have told us to call them. But he's doing this space right now, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I just find it quite hilarious because people are being scared out of their head when in fact this is the time that you should be taking a look at your mirror and actually going out there and fighting for your bloodline, people. You need to fight for your bloodline. And I'm being serious because there's some massive opportunity in the market right now, and I'm not playing. And hopefully we can talk more about that. But he's out here having a space Wednesday, live terror alert, the desperate Democrats, because people are doing some crazy stuff. Like there's people literally killing Teslas, the cars. It's not bad enough to take like bats and stuff to the Teslas. They're bringing red, like the red paint and stuff, and they're like it's blood. What are you doing out there, people? You're harming Teslas? Really? Do you know that right about now you could be stacking sats? And I'm being serious. You could be stacking sats and becoming independently, autonomously, financially free. Yeah. But you're out there in spaces getting all this cray sauce in your head and then going out there and then killing Teslas. Like the cray is it's too deep. So I'm sorry, I just had to bring it up because I'm sure there's thousands in that space right now where people are intently listening to his every word, because I have watched some of his stuff because I find it's good to watch everybody's point of view, at least in my opinion it is. And after I'm done watching his stuff, I'm looking for like where I'm going to build my bunker. Yeah, and where I'm going to buy my canned goods. And how I'm going to fight my neighbor. And then what I don't do is mind my own business, which my business is to become independently, autonomously wealthy. Yeah, I'm not playing. I want enough wealth in my bloodline that we can choose when we want, where we want, how we want. We can have anything we want as long as it doesn't have us. And if the fear has you, you're not going to stack sats, people. You're just not. Okay? You're not. Like, oh my God. And you know what? The people that are chopping up the Teslas, they're dressed in like black balaclavas and black outfits. It's like a military thing.
Oh. Really?
Like, why are you doing this? It is absolutely insane. So I'm sorry to get off track, but I just had to mention that. Okay. Should we be in fear right now? Should we be in fear?
Never beats, politics.
Are you in a tunnel? Are you in a tunnel? What are you digging? Are you digging now? Since I said that, are you?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, no.
Are you hearing me?
Okay, I can hear you now. It sounds like you're in a tunnel. Are you digging?
Oh, that's fine. You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying yes, because that's why it's not good, to mix business and politics. And that's what, Elon Musk did, unfortunately. But of course, I'm not estimate, like violent action against, Tesla or other things. Unfortunately, But yeah, that's really what's happening right now. I don't know why they are doing that. Why they are, burning the cars and I know it's kind of people what they're doing. Why they're doing that. So I think unfortunately it's also a bad buzz, but they are making like free ads for Telsa. Do you hear me?
Oh no, I'm listening to you. I'm just like down in my bunker right now. I had to go take cover in my bunker, and I had to go to get some of my can. Hey, you know what? It's not a bad idea to do some prepping. Do some prepping because I mean, if the people don't get us, the earth will get us. So you should become a prepper. Yeah, you should. Because what if like something big happens, like an earthquake or whatever? Have a plan. Have a little emergency kit, right? But don't have a fear plan. I'm gonna be honest with you. Things are going to improve to the point where you're not even going to understand why they're improving. Yeah, I'm being serious. What do you think of that?
Definitely, yeah. 100%. Yeah, don't have a fear plan, don't make anything, by fear. Definitely, indeed, when you try to have a plan and, tax that, of course. And yeah, of course, indeed, we have to have a great plan, and crypto is here to stay, and is one of the few industry when you can make it for you, but maybe maybe generational wealth, but making great. So, and this is the right time, this is the golden age of crypto. So you have to be there, and stacking SAT and maybe some other crypto for sure.
Hey, I don't like to put people on the spot, but I see this Adam McBride. Yeah, I do this.
Oh,
I do this. Okay.
dear
Hey,
madam,
listen, Adam
good
McBride.
to see you.
I'm gonna tell the people a little bit about this Adam McBride strategy and marketing at Emblem Vault, NFT archaeologist in a former life, Adam.Sats. That's how we do it, sir. So just hang on a second. We got to pump you up a little bit. Many people may know you, in fact, AdamMcBride.eth. Okay, excellent. Becoming a speaker. I think he could be the stamp father. People, the godfather, the stamp father. Hey, let's just let him unmute himself and let him just give us a little bit of his sauce so we can get him in here because we're just getting it started. Good day, sir. Would you unmute yourself and just bless us with your voice at least?
I don't know if it's
Hey,
a
Adam.
blessing. My wife might say it's a curse, but good to be here. Always fun to talk stamps. Yeah, I've been just if anybody doesn't know me in my relation to stamps, I've been involved with stamps and a supporter since day one. I have some. I actually was able to stamp some sub 200, so I was early. And have actually was nice enough to trade for some sub 100 stamps. So I was definitely early and always a big fan of what Mike did with stamps, bringing like true immutability to to NFTs using the stamps protocol. It's been a crazy ride over the time, and but I just think, as an entire space, crypto is still very much figuring out what's the best way to store different types of digital items or digital goods. And I think stamps are going to have a place somewhere in that kind of collage of how we keep track of things on chain. So yeah, I'm a big supporter of stamps and love the stamps protocol.
Can there be more than one, sir? Because I mean, yeah, can you tell us, can there be more than one? Like, I mean,
absolutely.
There's all this sauce going out there. We're getting this sauce from everywhere. It's like, calm down. Like, we're not a threat here.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that's already been decided. There will be more than one. It's like, will there be more than one blockchain? The answer is yes. Simply because it's a free market and that's the way humans operate. So no doubt. And I think, it's kind of every chain's going to have their NFTs, obviously. Where the value flows or lies or how people use different NFTs. will just kind of depend on use case, in my view. You know, there's reason to have a super fast, inexpensive, light NFT, right? If you're gaming and you want to trade these things for at or near zero, you know, there's a reason to have that on Solana or on AVAX or something that's super fast, right? While at the same time, there's reason for artists and people who want, you know, really, immutable assets to have them on, Bitcoin and Bitcoin stamps. So yeah, I think there's places for both. Excuse me for a sec. I have people buzzing me. I gotta go for a sec.
See that? People, we get the atom, and you know what happens? They're over there, I don't know, in the other protocols trying to tell them, get off the stage! My God, we don't want you there. It's probably the Hell Money podcast. What are you doing there? Get back over here. People, stop this. Hey, but while
no, it's actually my kid, but
good.
Even worse. I'd rather have other people from other protocols coming and trying to FUD stamps. But I know at the end of the day, look, it's very early, right? In not early for crypto, but early for global adoption of NFTs and stuff like that. And so, I think one of the best things about stamps is that we have this kind of core group of dedicated artists and people who believe in it. And history tells us that that core group of believers is super important to pushing something forward and getting widespread adoption. Like, it's critical, and I think stamps has that, and that's probably its best feature in my view.
Okay, well, we see a lot of people giving you hearts and hundreds and all of that, and we see this Nuke Satoshi Nakamoto. Have you made yourself a speaker, sir, to ask something, or ma'am? Please go ahead. Unmute yourself. Hey, if you come in as a speaker, don't you think that we're going to let you not speak, because that's a part of it here. We got to let you.
Natoshi, you're muted, man. Open your mic.
Meow. Meow Toshi. Come on.
He's just up here for the cred, he just wants to get the sweet followers. That's why he comes on stage.
Oh my God. Talking about followers, peeps, if you're not following this Adam McBride, you just heard it. He's got a podcast voice, that's for sure. 50,000 followers. Go ahead and do that at Adam McBride. And you'll get some strategy. There'll be some marketing, and there'll be some emblem vault. I'm sure you got a massive YouTube. Peeps, go and get it. Tell us about your
YouTube, by the way.
You've got a YouTube. Can we know more about that?
Wait, are you asking me?
Yeah, because we just want
you
so we know where to get this this strategy and everything you got, all your sauce.
Well, what we do, my company is Emblem Vault, and we do cross-chain cross-chain NFTs. And so like with stamps, people who have been at it from the beginning know that really the first place to trade stamps was on Ethereum, on OpenSea. They used our technology to basically wrap stamps and make them tradable on OpenSea. And so we were there at the birth of Ordinals too, and same deal. Almost all Ordinals traded on OpenSea using Emblem Vault. But what we actually have, just the soft shill here. This week we're launching our AI agent Hustle, which I'll pin up top in a sec. But what he is basically taking that cross-chain infrastructure and applying it to a chat interface, which is like, I'm convinced this is the future. The idea of us all having seed phrases for every single blockchain is stupid, and it's never going to work. But these agents allow us to kind of obfuscate all blockchains behind a chat interface. And so that's what we're doing this week. It's crazy. We've been building 18-hour days all week to get this thing launched, but that's what our tech stack is. And so we're very supportive of these kind of nascent communities like stamps and stuff, because we can bring stamps to Base or to Solana or whatever, and bring these communities across blockchains, which I think, give communities like Stamp the ability to kind of grow and meet new collectors. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that, and always happy to support stamps.
Oh my God. I'm hearing some good stuff. Bitcoin Ape, are you like I'm trying to scratch in and get some more questions, but please jump in here.
Wow. Yeah, thanks, Adam, to be with us, and also Adam, have a great space. I think it's every from Tuesday to Thursday, if I'm not wrong, with Jake as well, with Jake Garden. And another, pleasure to listen your space every time listening and learning new things. And like is a library. This is the library. This is the library of crypto, Adam. So if you want to learn or understand what is crypto, follow Adam, and of course listen this great space.
Yeah, we try to, I mean, we're very much chain agnostic and kind of, we just look into like what's happening, right? And so, yeah, we run our space Tuesday through Thursday, as you said, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And if somebody's in the audience and like has an interesting project or interesting ideas, we are always looking to explore, because I think, obviously that's why we were early to Ordinals, we were early to Stamps. We are experimenting and listening and trying to understand what's happening in the space, what's next, because you never know what's going to be the thing that really moves crypto and moves decentralization forward. So we always have our eye on the future for sure.
Well, JD Crypto just jumped in here. Market speculator, Forex, crypto, partner, KOL. Sir, ma'am, what do you want to add or say or ask? Please jump in here. Because I got some questions, let me tell you. He's frozen. He's frozen. Okay, you're 100 frozen. Okay, can I like backpedal a little bit with Adam? I don't know how much time you're going to give us here, but the bot, pull me in on that. Like anytime somebody says AI bot, no seed phrases, I need to get some more of that. So just bring it back.
Well, look, I mean, we've been talking since I've been in crypto since whatever, 2016. We've been talking about, how do we onboard the globe, right? How do we onboard the normies? And I never saw a way forward until kind of the AI explosion happened, maybe, 8 or 9 months ago, where I realized that these chat interfaces, basically, if we connected a chat interface to our underlying infrastructure and technology, which are basically smart wallets, that a user interfacing with an AI agent, like you do with your chat GPT, can basically control wallets on every blockchain through that one interface. And that one interface, they don't actually even need to store seed phrases or anything. They can basically log in any way they want using their Google or their face or their phone, all that sort of stuff. And for me, it just clicked that, oh my God, we're at the cusp here. We already built the tech. Now we just need to build out this infrastructure to kind of connect it all through a chat interface and basically do away with wallets. This is, what we're looking at is the end of wallets as you know it. So the idea that you're going to have a MetaMask, and then you're going to have a Photon for Solana, and then you're going to have, an Xverse for Bitcoin. Like, I'm telling you, that's in 2 years, that's over. And you're going to have one interface, and it's going to work on all blockchains. And this is the way to onboard 1 billion people to crypto, because they're not going to have to worry about any of it, and they can just have their assets wherever they have them, use whatever they need to use, interface wherever they need to interface, and it's all done through one application. Like, that's what we're building for. There are probably 5 teams. I'd say 5 legit teams, maybe 10 are actually trying it, but 5 real teams who have some technology like we do, who are actually building this right now. And we'll see where it goes, but for me, this is the most exciting opportunity in crypto. So I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Wow. Talk about interoperability, like OMG. There's highways, there's like bridges, like we're not going to have to like wait for the milk to come like once a week. We can just drive over the highway and go to the supermarket and get it. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I think it's really it's like right now, for example, if you wanted to, I don't know, sell your stamp on base,
Yeah,
right?
you can't
Not
do that.
anybody
Ever,
in this
ever.
space is like, yeah, it's not going to happen, impossible, right?
Yeah.
Even a simple thing, for example, you want a whatever, AVAX is pumping, and you're like, geez, I really want some AVAX token, right? What are you going to do? You're either going to be on your centralized exchange, or you're going to spend 30 minutes to look up how do I bridge and buy. You're not even probably going to do it at the end, right? And what the AI agents and what we're building towards is you're just going to simply say to Hustle, hey, Hustle, buy me 100 ETH worth of 100 USD worth of ETH of AVAX, and it takes care of it. It does it, and you don't even know how. It's just suddenly you own it. That's what's going to happen. It's got to be some time. It's going to take a while to build this out, but once it does happen, it'll be so blatantly obvious. Like, why didn't we have this the whole time? And yeah. So anybody, I mean, as I said, we're launching tomorrow. Anybody who's interested, just shoot me a DM and I'll get you an early access pass where you can go check it out, and give it a try.
Do you see how we do it at the stamp? We love people. We love on people. That's what we do. Because I got to tell you, this is sounding kind of cool to me. Am I crazy to say, is it kind of like that banker bot where you just kind of say, hey, banker bot, go get me some eggs and milk over on base, and it does that sort of stuff? Is that what I'm okay? Like, I just like to use normie metaphors just for everybody because this does go
Credit
on
they've
the
done.
YouTube. So is it kind of like that?
Yeah. They've done really good job of, being like a social. They've got a lot of traction because it's like, hey, yeah, mint me a token, and it mints it. And so and they were able to trick, Grok into basically minting a token. So it was good on them. Ours is a bit deeper than that, though.
For sure.
Obviously, most people don't want to trade their crypto assets on Twitter. But I understand it from a marketing perspective. It's actually quite genius. And if you guys all remember, I'm sure there's some people in this space being stamp people. We did this with Mike in Space, I don't know, maybe a year ago, where we were minting JSON, minting, I'm using air quotes, minting JSONs on Twitter about a year ago. And it got a lot of traction. And I literally did thousands of them until somebody DM'd me like, bro, people were getting their accounts banned by Twitter because Twitter was like seeing it as spam. I don't know if you guys remember that, but so BankerBot basically took that idea, which I thought was a fantastic idea, and put it on chain, which is fantastic. And but all of this stuff, it's about like timing and having the timing right and the technology right to make this stuff happen. As I said, we were doing this a year ago with Twitter. I think we were calling them Twitter stamps. But Banker really hit on it. So yeah, it's going to be all that stuff is going to be possible. Yeah.
But I get it. It's much deeper. So if I want to sell my stamp on anywhere, really, even Magic Eden, fancy that. A stamp being sold on Magic Eden, hey?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have, if you understand Emblem's technology stack, it's, we're gonna be on base within, I think it's like 3 weeks or so. We'll be on base. Gonna allow assets to go over to base. Then we're doing abstract chain. We're doing Merlin, which is a Bitcoin L2. So it's basically we have to launch on each chain. Once we launch on that chain, then you can begin bridging assets over to that chain. And the beauty of Hustle is that once you've put something in kind of the Emblem ecosystem, so say you bridge a stamp to base, and then you want to take it to abstract, you just say, hey, Hustle, move my stamp from base to abstract. And it takes care of it kind of behind the scenes. And then you have your assets, you have your stamp on abstract, to whatever, farm a protocol or using a game, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, this is like the dream of a interoperable multi-chain universe is now. I actually see the vision now. And if you're listening to my voice, you're probably like, ah, it's crazy. Why would you want to do that? Trust me, we've already seen the things that have worked, like lending on Ethereum. People are already bridging over, their counterparty assets to go get a loan on Gandhi or whatever. Like we've had, Rare Pepe's bridge over and get loans on Gandhi, or we had, Node Monkey's bridge over and get loans on Gandhi. So, that sort of stuff is already happening. And, yeah, so it's happening. We're all, I say it, we're still very, very early. Obviously, everybody in our space is still very early, but this stuff is definitely happening.
People, I'm just gonna say it, okay? Yeah, like Tony Stark, you'll have your own private Jarvis. I'm gonna say
You will. No, you will. Absolutely.
this,
It's happening.
this is your own private Jarvis, people. I mean, you gotta know. If you know, you know. You have to know, okay? We're gonna be like Tony Stark. And we can just have our own private Jarvis, like, yeah, go sell my stamp and then pick me up some of this, some of that. And we're not going to have to remember all of those keys in our, like, my God, there's so many. I'm writing them down. I got the Trezor. It's too much. It's too much, people. Hey, somebody else want to jump in here, because I'm just thinking of all these weird metaphors. Have you noticed? That's what I do. I come up with weird metaphors. JD Crypto, you've got your mic now. Like, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. Anybody can come up here, because this is SWA. We want to just play. Hey, drop in, drop out, do whatever you need to. We're just going to keep it moving. But we do appreciate Mr. McBride for creating Jarvis for us. Literally. Yes, that's what it is. Anybody, what are your thoughts? Ask a question.
Is JD gone? JD's out.
So yes, Adam, it will be available tomorrow, isn't it? So to for the access and all the things.
Yep. Yeah, I pinned
Right.
up top. You can follow the Hustle account
cool.
directly. Of
Yeah.
course, you can follow me. I'll tweet about it tomorrow for sure. But yeah, the Hustle account's up there. It's not an automated. That's not our Hustle account. Is not a KOL. It simply tweets. When we ask him to tweet about, but he's not tweeting 1,000 times a day or anything like that. So feel free to follow him. You will not get bombed with stuff. It's simply kind of updates and stuff for him. But yeah, we'll be going live tomorrow. People will be able to access it tomorrow. Basically all swapping. It's on Solana first. Then we're going to go to Base and Bitcoin. But Solana first, you can, buy, sell tokens, pump fund tokens, liquidity pools. It does that for you. You just tell it, hey, I want to put, I don't know, $100 and my Tensor token into a liquidity pool. It does it for you, which, before Hustle, I'd never even really used liquidity pools. So stuff like that. It's first look at like what the future is, as far as all these kind of crypto features, which you probably aren't even doing because it's too complicated. You don't have to learn how to do it. Hustle can already do this stuff for you. So yeah, pretty pumped.
Yeah, so people, you heard it. Instead of like beating up Teslas and stuff, this is what you could be doing. You can literally be learning stuff to actually help yourself. Yeah, legitly. So stop beating up Teslas. And geez, if you want some maximum fear, I think Jones is still doing his space, but he is so darn entertaining. Yes, Wednesday live terror alert. The Desperate Democrats, get in there. Mr. Jones is telling us all about that. He is freaking fun though. I don't know why, but it's so freaking entertaining. But if you want some real life sauce, you can get a Jarvis, your own Jarvis. That is correct, in crypto currently. And you can get your stamp over on that Magic Eden, and you can actually have your stamp. Yeah, fancy that, eh? Selling your stamp on Magic Eden. Like, is that like a crazy thought?
It will. There's no doubt it will happen. As I said, I think we're probably going to do Base is going to be the first one where we're bringing over some assets, but yeah, Magic Eden is a no-brainer. I think that's where most Bitcoin kind of trading is happening, but OpenSea's around too, right? And so, for example, like with stamps, you wanted to bring your stamps over on OpenSea to farm their reward system, right? They have a farming program going on right now. You know, you can bring your stamps over there and do that.
Legitly?
And stuff like,
Wow.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we've had the ability to bridge stamps for a while, and yeah, as I said, we were there at the birth of stamps, so we supported stamps from the early going, and yeah, it's like you don't have to be a siloed community anymore, and you don't have to teach people how to use a special wallet to buy and sell stamps, and I think that's a big deal. You know, I think it is a big deal. You know, the obvious example is Rare Pepe, right? Everybody knows Rare Pepes.
Yeah.
But they were all purchased basically using Emblem Vault on OpenSea, you know, and so I think that ease of use where people can feel comfortable and still whatever use their MetaMask to buy, you know, stamps or buy counterparty assets is still, you know, nobody wants to have 50 different wallets. They want to use one wallet. And, you know, so we're solving for both those issues right now. We're solving for, you know, you want to bring your assets to Ethereum or whatever. We've solved for that already. But the idea is that in the future, you won't have to worry about that at all, right? You just have an AI agent that takes care of it for you. And, you know, I know people are like, well, the AI agent, my AI agent hallucinates all the time. Like, yes, I know. Right. I know. So I'm not saying bad stuff won't happen, because certainly in the early days, bad stuff most definitely will happen. But I think the larger vision, it's a lot like self-driving cars, right? Do they kind of screw up at the beginning and some people get hurt? Sure. But the vast majority of stuff will be actually solved for over time, and actually it'll be way, way safer to have your own proprietary AI agent who protects you in Web3. Make sure you don't click the wrong links, make sure you don't sign the wrong transactions. I think overall agents are going to be incredibly good for security in Web3. I think it's going to help, you know, normies like myself a lot to not be rugged and lose money. I mean, because, well, if you're in the space long enough, you've lost money. You've been scammed. I've been scammed. Everybody I know has been scammed at some point. And I think AI agents are going to help a ton with that. But still, early days.
He called himself a normie, people. That's marketing. That is marketing.
Marketing, smooth brains. Smooth brains. Like, I don't build any of this stuff. We got the dev team, right? But, you know, I mean, look, I come from very much a user perspective. And so, you know, I know, like, for example, I'm full transparent, like Emblem Vault's technology was very clunky. You know, if you used this in 2021 and you wanted to sell your stuff on OpenSea, man, it was a heavy lift. It wasn't easy. It took like, I don't know, 10 minutes to make a vault and put your asset in there. It was a pain, right? Now it's like, it's 20 seconds and easy, and you can't screw it up. You can't make the wrong type of vault. You can't put the wrong, you know, it's just, we've cleaned all that stuff up because I know the way people work, and people, you know, make mistakes and click wrong buttons and do all that sort of stuff. And so, you know, I think Web3 as a whole is getting a lot better in that perspective, where we have to meet normies where they are, and we can't be clunky and hard to use. It has to be on your phone. It has to be easy, you know, and we're definitely moving in that direction.
Well, yeah, because mass adoption will require that. Like, you need an easy,
1,000,000%.
you need an easy button. It's kind of nice to be
Totally.
in the spaces where, like, you're doing all of the, you know, the technical talk, and that stuff is great because you need it. But in order to get all the other people here, you're gonna need to do something a little bit different, where they feel that they can jump in and they can just get in the sauce without having to get through the words. Like, you need a dictionary, literally.
Totally.
Yeah, because the language keeps you out. How crazy.
Totally.
I see so many artists in here. Like, the artists are pouring in. Let me give them some shout outs. I see NFT Pepe. Every time you talk, hearts, hundreds. Yeah, big artist here. I see EA, another artist. I see Logic. I see Babylicious. Like, all these artists that are jumping in here. It's almost like they're just so excited to hear that there's going to be portals and gateways where they can get their art out there. And boy, do they need it. Yeah, do they? And you know what would be really cool is if they kind of jumped up here. And what are your thoughts on what you've heard? And especially being an artist, like, you don't have to be in this this place where you're kind of like, yeah, you're artistic, but we got to get your art out there. So this is kind of cool because this is going to give us more avenues to your art. Any artists want to come up here. And JD Crypto, like, I don't understand, sir, why you're not talking.
Wait, you haven't met the farmers? They like to sit on stage. Actually, I can't even see that he's on the stage because mine's glitching too. But no, it's fun. It's funny because they think they'll pick up a couple followers.
Okay,
that's what they do. It's funny though because really followers don't really matter that much anymore on X. But oh.
I think that's a
Bitcoin Ape, you might want to mute your phone there. We can hear your traffic in the background.
Yeah, just for a second there. Oh my God, they're farming. Hilarious. Oh, jeez.
So that's why you artists need to get up here. You need to get up here and start farming some followers, you know?
I would say so. HNFTP, I know I always do this to you, but okay, who's this? Hey, Morgan, before you reveal yourself, let me tell the little people about you, okay? CEO, engineer, mycologist, really? Vice President, Program Chair at SDMYCO, founder and project coordinator. Well, welcome. Please unmute yourself. Let's get into it. What are we doing here? Morgan Rockwell. You got the shrooms on there. You got all the emojis.
Morgan, you up here, man? I think maybe he's glitching too. Maybe the space is glitching for some people.
The space is only open for Mr. McBride today.
Well, Morgan.
Oh,
you got him because I know Morgan's real he's legit. He's not a farmer other than of mushrooms. So Morgan, you there, man?
I used to be a corn farmer, but not anymore. That's not a fun crop.
Oh God, you know what? I got to know a little bit more about you. And then we could get into corn, but
I just come to say hi because I saw my
Can you hear him? I can't hear him.
I can hear him.
Okay, I it's me that's glitching then. Yeah, I can't hear him.
Okay, no.
Yeah, I just came to say hi to Adam anyway. He's my fellow historical NFT fellow, you know. So I just wanted to say hi to him. But I didn't know what was going on. I saw the pink Bitcoin. I was like, that's something new. What is going on there?
Let me get you on in here. Bitcoin Ape, you can come on in and we'll get him in here. Hey, guess what? Pink Bitcoin, pink is the new orange. Yeah, it is. This is the universe. This is a wallet. It's an indexer. It's an explorer. It's a marketplace. It's all on top of Tap. And the universe is bringing all of the protocols together. Today, in fact, is Stamp. It's called SWA. And that's why we want to say, hey, come out and play. That's what we're doing. Last week,
that's awesome.
OMG, we went 4 hours. Like, we just have different people that pop in. And I got to be honest, it's weird. Yeah, some people pop in. And last week we had a famous podcaster, Ant McGinley. Don't know where he is. And he was literally, I'm not joking, he was talking to us about wrestling in gravy. Because evidently in England, we're here to talk about Stamp, but sometimes we get off track. So he was telling us about a sport. They do it on the bank holiday in August. And they literally make pots of gravy and they wrestle in it. Yeah. Like the grown people do that. So that was weird. And in between it, we do talk Stamp because we got a ton of artists out here that are in Stamp. And we're trying to figure out why isn't Stamp welcomed to the other protocols, because we love Ordinals. We love all of that. And we want people to know that Stamp is a real thing. So Adam was giving us some love. So we were kind of liking that. And then he was telling us about a project that'll help us sell our Stamp on Magic Eden. And we thought that was pretty cool. And this is all being sponsored by the Universe wallet. So I'm going to give them a plug. Hey, people, go over to bitcoinuniverse.io. Go take a look at what they do. Okay. They're building too, and they're making the highways and the bridges for all of the protocols to come together and have this conversation. So please go and check them out. At least register your name. Yeah, register your name. And then you can come and chat with me. My name is Trudy. Yeah, I'm Trudy Art. So Sir Morgan, come back here. You're a corn farmer. I just want
No. I'm a mycologist. I teach people about the fungi, and
You used to be a
old
corn
Bitcoin.
farmer.
Yeah, I was a Bitcoin developer, but I've been in this space since the archaic times of 2008 and 9. So I'm always looking for the cool stuff.
Okay. There's many ways we could go about this. Is it okay if I ask more about you? Is that okay?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a founder of many Bitcoin companies in the past that absolutely failed. And right now I am the CEO of Microsoft, which is a company that builds computers that talk to mushrooms and fungi. And I just launched MycoDAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization to fund mycology. It's launched under the Bio Protocol, which is a project funded by a lot of biotech and Ethereum and Solana people. And so I'm a big pusher of mycology, the study of mushrooms and fungi, and a big advocate for Bitcoin and a lot of the weird mad science stuff that's been done on Bitcoin. Used to work on Counterparty in the early days, tried to tokenize everything like stock and science and data. And so I'm a big advocate for TAP. Actually, our MycoDAO project is utilizing Bitcoin inscriptions and TAP protocol and runes and all of the cool things that Bitcoin can do, as well as using things like proofs on Ethereum and making tokens on Solana to fund things. So I'm very agnostic to all the cool crypto tech.
Okay.
So I love looking at wallets, and I'm checking this Universe wallet out right now.
Please check it out, but you know what we're gonna have to do, because and I talked to fungi. Okay, let's get back at it here, because we gotta get down to it here. So fungi, they have a language, do they? Please.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
My company actually has an algorithm that can pretty much break down about 80 different words that fungi signals put out. We call them words, but they're patterns, you know.
Well, that would almost make sense if they can cause hallucinations and all of that, and create new realities. Might they have languages? Are they actually communicating with one another and we don't even know it?
Well, yes. So what we focus on is not the human consumption of mushrooms, which is pretty boring in my opinion. It's more of the mycelium that's in the forest floor, which is like 60% of all living biomass on Earth is fungi. So almost all living things on Earth are touching fungi at some point, and most of the life in the ground on Earth is fungi. And all of the dirt on Earth is made by fungi. Rock is turned into dirt by fungi. So we wouldn't be alive without fungi. And what we want to do is tap into the fungi in the ground. We build machines that read the electrical signals in the mycelium in the ground. And we use a lot of different technology to figure that out, whether it's AI or algorithms or sensors. And then we even use things like the cloud and AI algorithms to find patterns, and Bitcoin and things like Ethereum to log it and make that data preservable. And so there's a lot of tools and tech we package together to figure out what is mycelium saying and doing. So we know if a tree is healthy, or if an earthquake's happening, or if bugs are moving in the ground, or if there's pollution in the environment. All of that stuff responds an electrical signal from mycelium. So we pretty much put a wire in the ground, and it's like a Neuralink for the Earth, and we want to kind of tap into the brain of the Earth and see what it's doing. So we use mycelium as a USB port. And to figure that out, we got to make it cheap, and that data has got to be efficient. So like using things like Bitcoin, we inscribe like DNA of fungi in Bitcoin. Using things like Solana, we're raising money with the Solana tokens, and using things like the TAP protocol, because very familiar with the digital matter theory and the non-arbitrary tokens and things like that. So like turning data into a token is really important. We utilize that in a really kind of novel way. So I'm very familiar with how like Tap works, and I think it's a very useful tool. So anything that builds things on that is cool. I'm familiar with stamps too, because it was like in the early counterparty days that was definitely being talked about, and anything that's that old, which is like still alive, is working. It's just the marketing money is always weird. Bitcoin even didn't get marketing money like Dogecoin. Dogecoin was on TV before Bitcoin, which was crazy. It was on NASCAR races because they put the marketing money there. And Ethereum did all this marketing money. Counterparty didn't really do that. But, Counterparty's older than Ethereum, even by a few days. So like it's whoever gets the commercial money gets known, but some of those tools just get pushed behind for no reason.
But is that because of the spirit though of Bitcoin? Like you're going like fast, and you're going in the right direction, and you're brilliant, and I'm still stuck in the mushrooms. I really am. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
This is a stamp space, and you artists, this is where you can actually get some juice for the next thing that you do, some inspiration. The mushrooms are in a network, and I understand that you are wiretapping the mushrooms because you want to hear what they have to say. This is
Exactly.
this is not a joke. This is not
Yeah.
a joke. Like, it may sound,
No, we have VC funding, and we have military contracts. Very, very, very viable product data technology.
okay, yeah. Hey, you don't need to sell me on that part of it. I just have to get into, like, do you understand? Like, I'm tingling right now because my body is like, mushrooms are talking to each other. They are
Yeah, he's got to tell us what some of those interesting of the 80 things, the mushrooms that you've deciphered or decoded.
Yeah.
Like what are the most interesting of those? I'm sure some are like, oh, danger, right? From maybe, I don't know, fire or something like that.
It's all rooted in food. Mushrooms are the oldest thing they've been eating long before anything else. Like for 2 billion years, they've been figuring out how to digest and eat. So all of the communication is like say humans, they're super motivated by like money or food or sex. We have our mammal motivations. Like a mushroom is motivated by food. So the signals, I can interpret them as like it's hot or cold, or that signals from fire or chemicals or radiation. They all put out a signal because of some stimulus. But in reality, if you like think like a mushroom, it's more like, that's my food, leave my food alone. Here's some poison to say, get away from my food. It's all about food. So it's like, where did my food go? I need more food. Why is my food leaving? Why are you taking my food? I'm going to kill you if you keep touching my food. It's literally like that.
So like a cartoon of fungi, like the Charlie Brown of fungi, would just be conversation. Nothing but food conversations.
Yeah.
It's all just, where are we eating? I don't know. What do you want to do today? How about some food? It's all just food.
and I had to know that as a scientist, like to really know the noise through the signal. Like, really, what is it saying? And I have to know that. I can't anthropomorphize it like it's a human. It's got words because it doesn't have a mouth, but it does have like a signal. It's telling a tree or a bug, leave my food alone. Or it makes this thing we call poison because it'll hurt our livers as a human, but it's not making that as a poison. It's making it as like a chemical signal to another fungi. Like, this tree is mine. I'm eating it, and you're not going to eat it. And so that fungus won't go on top of the other fungus because it's got a poison that's telling it to leave my food alone. And you could see two fungus fight each other on a tree, and there's like a line between them. And if you look that line up and pull that chemical out and put it in a microscope, you see, oh, there's an antifungal there. And it's just a chemical that makes another fungus say, no, I'm not going to go that way. But you put that in a human being, and it like is penicillin, or it's a poison, or it kills you, wipes your liver out. And the mushroom doesn't make that stuff because of that. And so it's really like a chemical communication. And we don't talk to dolphins really well. We don't talk to dogs and cats really well. So it's a whole new, like, how do you talk to a tree or a plant or a bug, you know? And I think, like, to bring crypto into it is important because that's such a weird science and needs to be funded. And then it's also like that's so much data, it needs to be incentivized that the data is not just noise and that the data is protected, that no one's changing it, because it's important data. You know, we have machines that'll tell you if there's pollution in the ground or radiation in the ground or an earthquake in the ground, and then I don't want someone to lie about that data. So using things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, even like the hypergraph stuff that the DoD and the military is using, the HBAR and Hedera, like the U.S. military is even using that stuff to like protect their data. So like all of that stuff is important to know, like what tools make this work right, you know.
Okay.
Like I love Tap. I think Tap is really cool because it's like abstracting data in Bitcoin, and like I'm trying to abstract data in fungi and like also get people to pay us for it so we have a business out of it. So like tokenizing stuff is cool because people pay for that data if it's useful.
Okay. So then we're walking, we're kind of jogging towards the stamp and all of what you said. But I needed to like just get in there and understand that so that I could just have it just people like literally.
It's complicated, you
No,
know?
it's not. I'm intuitively grasping it. And you know what? It's like things are psychic. Like they're talking to one another. There's stuff
Yeah.
that's being said. And so like I think we need to understand that, because then what we're doing will make even more sense. Like okay, you're laughing there, laser dog. You're laughing. I see you. But I need to make sense of it. And then once I do, then I can understand, okay, then why is Bitcoin important? Then why is, Stamp is important? Okay, I'm going to plug Stamp. Obviously, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to say it's an immutable data storage protocol. So then that would then become even more relevant, because if we're really getting all this data, and I do believe it is actually happening, shrooms are talking to one another. And now I understand their motivation. It's they want to be like, feed me, and they're protecting their food.
Yeah. And then also, like, as an example, like we're taking, like, we find a new mushroom, we do what is called a DNA sequence on it, and we look for a piece of that DNA. It's called the ITS. It's like the identifying part of fungal DNA. So I could tell that that's a lion's mane mushroom or a cordyceps mushroom or a portobello mushroom. And so we just look at this little string of data, the ITS2, and now I know what that mushroom is. And then to really like use Bitcoin to its best, we inscribe DNA in Bitcoin inscriptions using ordinals. I've done it with Tap. I've also done it with BRC20, and I've done it with runes. And so like the UTXO model of like how stamps works is also like, what is the best protocol to do something like put DNA in a blockchain so no one could delete it? And then if that DNA changes or someone finds a new DNA, how do I connect it to that first one? So like I use inscription, parent-child inscriptions, provenance, and then, recursion. Like I found new DNA, or I changed the DNA and make a new transaction. And now there's this chain. I could look at an address, a DNA like packet, and go look at all the transactions on that address. Those are all the genetic changes to that mushroom we found. And so that's the kind of cool record keeping system I think Bitcoin, and not just like a certain protocol on Bitcoin, but just Bitcoin in general, is good for. Is not just like the monetary records, but like genetic records or discovery patent records. I always thought that was the way Bitcoin was going to be used. Like Counterparty really showed that off, voting and stock on Bitcoin, things like that. So you got to like, what is the best case for this protocol? Like stamps, how is stamps different than runes or BRC20s or any of these concepts like Tap? Like what makes them so unique that they're good for this purpose? And I'm trying to look at it like agnostically. I want to find the best tools to do all kinds of different things. So I generally like use all of them for something.
Well, yeah, and you see, that's why it's important to understand who is coming in here and what is their motivation.
right? What's their angle? Is it the feed me? Because
Yeah.
once we find what you need, sir, what the mushroom needs, then we can tell you how this or that will help you. And when I say this, I'm going to say stamp, and I'm going to bring in someone here like the Bitcoin ape. I hope you're still there, sir. You're out there in Paris. I hope you're still there, because I think that you'll be able to jump into this conversation nicely and introduce this this wonderful soul. Oh my God. I am feeling like I am in a new heaven right now. Okay. This wonderful soul.
Jeremy?
Yeah, to Stamp.
No?
Let's talk about this, because Stamp is that immutable data storage protocol. Bitcoin ape?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Stamp is the immutable data storage protocol. Would it be a place where you'd want to store data?
Yes, definitely. Because stamps, is like the most immutable and most permanent, because first is store on the Bitcoin UTXO transaction. So it means that when you are storing stamps on Bitcoin, it's forever glued on the core protocol of BTC. And that's one of the main beauty and more you can say future of stamps. And that's why I truly believe that in the future tokenization of art or real estate or any assets on Earth could be tokenized on stamps. Because if you are looking for like I like to say not a proof of work, but a proof of legitimacy, or you can say that stamps proof of legitimacy of any assets, or proof of ownership as well. I like to say that word, that analogy, that stamps is of course, as you say, Adam, you are very early today, very, very early compared to the market. But I think that the vision of the founders as well, that they know that in this digital world, we get more and more data, and we need to store more and more data. And definitely the more valuable data will be stored on Bitcoin. I don't think that anything could be stored on Bitcoin. I think it's not the purpose or technically possible, but definitely, the most valuable data will be on Bitcoin, and stamps, and maybe other protocol ordinals and runes we have the say, but stamps will have a say, and the share of the pie, as we say. So yeah, definitely bullish for stamps, and is storage fire, because now Bitcoin is of course a store of value, but is also now a store of files.
Wow, a store of files. Oh my God. Unreal. Like, we could be storing like, they're literally wiretapping mushrooms. Okay, yes, they are wiretapping them. And
Well, one thing I'd love to like say that we know the difference between like as a scientist, I got to figure out why am I using this microscope versus that microscope, or this petri dish versus that petri dish. So like the difference really is like I do things on ordinals, but also like stamps has an advantage over ordinals in that, like, if the Bitcoin nodes like try to say they don't like ordinals, they can like try to manipulate them actually being put into the block, and then it gets expensive and things like that. When it comes to like stamps, the way they're done, like the multi-sig thing, it's the nodes have no choice. That stamp transaction goes in no matter what. There's no like getting rid of that. And then like, but with ordinals, I could put like more data, larger amounts of data in there. So they both have like a good like benefit. They have their pros and cons, And so like if I'm putting a massive file in there, maybe I do have to pay a little bit more and do it on ordinals. If I'm doing like low bandwidth text, maybe I do it, but it's important text like DNA sequencing. Maybe I do that with stamps, so that it's a lower cost, it's more permanent, and I don't need to have it in that ordinal structure where it's like 4 megabytes or something. So like they have their trade-offs, and picking the best tool in the most effective, cost-effective, permanent way is like really the way I think about it. So like there's all this cultism in crypto, like Ethereum versus Bitcoin or Solana versus Ethereum. And it's like even in the Bitcoin space, like runes versus BRC20 and all of these arguments. I look at it like I'm doing some weird science on these things. I look at it all as a computer, and there's a benefit to Ruby or Rust or C++ or JavaScript. So people use these things for their own thing for a reason. So there's a benefit to all of this crypto protocol stuff. One is good for something, you know.
Definitely, indeed, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God. You have no clue what I'm going through over here. Like, we need to take that and make that into like a promo for all things Bitcoin. That was so well said. Because yeah, you're gonna need to make a decision on why and when and where you need something, and it's nice to have the choice, right? And I like that you said that if you are going to need to store something very important, you can use the stamp. Like that is pretty fantastic. Bitcoin, you can jump in here, but that was amazing. Okay, it almost left me speechless.
Well, I've been selling Bitcoin to 12-year-olds and government agents for 15 years, so I figured out what words to use, you know.
I'm telling you, maybe Adam sent him, hey, say this, they'll love it. But
well,
no.
I always appreciate when I talk to guys like Morgan who just experiment with the technology. And I think, you know, having artists who just mess around, if history tells us anything, is actually really, really important for blockchain and very important for the tech to move forward. So, you know, I encourage people to just play around and mess around, and like with Tap or whatever, just keep doing stuff and try new things. Because you never really know. It's really the new things that really, really hit and dominate the timeline, you know, and actually create number go up technology. You know, it's the new experiments. And so, you know, one of the nice things about Stamps is that we do have these artists and creators who can just get creative. So I always love to encourage people to just still be creative, be very creative.
Well, and I like the fact that, you know, we can all agree then, okay, there is room for the ordinals if you need, you know, larger file space and what have you. And then there's room for the stamp. Like, people, we can all exist. There's enough opportunity here to exist all as one.
No, there isn't. Only Stamps can exist. Only Stamps. Ordinals are fake. Ordinals to zero. Stamps only. No.
Hashtags, come on in here.
Hashtag Stamps only.
Hey, go get your Alex Jones on and get in here. Get your Alex Jones on, people, and get in here. Hey, who's this coming in here? Prince? You're a prince? Okay, let me just, there's a prince coming in here. Prince, are you up here, sir? Are you gonna unmute yourself and be prince-ish? Let's see, fitness? Okay, community manager, airdrop farmer. Oh my goodness. These farmers, eh? Spot for Forex, contact me, let's talk business. Oh, what do you gotta say? Come on, unmute yourself. I don't know anything about you, but unmute yourself.
Hey, Prince, what's up?
Hey guys, what's
Not
up?
first.
Good evening.
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who
Great.
are you, Prince?
Okay, my
Yeah, I
name,
can
my
hear
name
you,
is
bro.
yeah, my name is Prince Chinedu. I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, very.
I just hear you read my profile here, so I just stumbled on the posts. I just got interested in the topic, so I just want to come on here. You guys speak.
Okay, we're talking about Bitcoin. We're talking about stamps. We're talking about immutability. We're just trying to get people familiar with what is going on. What's been your experience in crypto currently? Why have you come to crypto? And we know that you're curious about the space, but why have you come to crypto?
Okay.
And when did you come to crypto?
This is one of I think this is the first space I'm speaking on Twitter. And you guys, by the way, you guys got an interesting topic here. I can share my experience with you. I think I joined cryptocurrency back in 2000 and is it 2021, 2022 after the Bitcoin crash. So from that time to now, I've been learning a lot of things about cryptocurrency. And I think I lost a lot of money that period because I don't know what the whole system was all about. So I was just joining, following the hype. All of a sudden, everything gone to zero. So from that period to now, I've been learning a lot, and I'm not really yet satisfied. I continue learning. I'm improving myself on a daily basis. So my experience so far in crypto has been a wonderful one. I've been trading forex, so in the crypto, I think a lot of comparison, but crypto is very unique. Having a lot of opportunities is providing for us, and it's also a place where you can. In fact, the whole thing about crypto is just that I believe cryptocurrency is the evolution of money. So it's better to get in now in this generation. We have the opportunity, so we just utilize it and make something out from it. So that's all I can say now. I just want to hear, listen to other speakers and some listeners come up to the space and speak as well.
Well, I would like to thank you, Prince. I think that is great. Good on you. And Nigeria is really becoming fast a crypto currency community that is really diving into it. It's fantastic that you're here and that the crashes haven't scared you, because I believe now is the time to gain all of the information. We don't necessarily have to jump into anything specific in crypto, but the education is a must. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do here and why we have come together around this protocol called STAMP. So, the Bitcoin universe, the universe, I've mentioned it before. It's a wallet, it's an indexer, it's an explorer, it's all things Bitcoin on bitcoinuniverse.io. You should go and check it out because they are sponsoring the space. That is correct.
Okay.
There's many things that you can do on here, but today, in fact, we are focusing on STAMP. By the way, there's some really cool art that's been uploaded on STAMP. We should talk about that. But STAMP is a protocol on top of Bitcoin. It's an immutable data storage protocol. And we were just talking about mushrooms, and that mushrooms actually have a language. They are actually speaking to each other. That is right. Yes, mushrooms, or more accurately, the fungi, they belong to they communicate to each other using electrical impulses. That is right. There's studies that have been done, and they suggest these patterns resemble the human speech. I'm not joking. This is a real thing. So we had someone on here that has been studying this data, and they actually are transferring the data to the Bitcoin blockchain. So they're using Ordinals because Ordinals allow you to have a large file space. But for immutability meaning you can't ever scrub it, obviously, they're using STAMP. Why STAMP specifically? Because it's absolutely immutable. It's the only immutable protocol on top of Bitcoin. And so that's why we're kind of all gathered here. And there's like so many things to do in the STAMP world. Well, you can stack sats. How? Through the art, through collecting art. And we know that art is a big part of culture. Art is a big part of the way we move, the way we flow, the way we see the world. And there's some really cool things in stamps specifically with art. I'm going to mention the Nakamoto stamp index. Can we pin that at the top if we can? The Nakamoto stamp index is a really cool index that has been made to catalog all of the artists in stamp. Yeah, all of the artists. I know that, hey, some of you are doing Forex trading, some of you, but people, do not fade the art. yeah, do not fade the art, because this art is going to live on top of Bitcoin forever. And I can say this, when people buy stamp art, they tend not to sell it. And that, for me, just elevates the value of owning a stamp. So a stamp isn't something, the art part of stamp, it's not something that you're going to be able to make a quick trade on. Why? Because a lot of people don't even sell their stamps, and the value of stamp is building over time. So it would kind of, be like having a Mona Lisa. Yeah. Or having a work done from Picasso. That's what it is. It's like the Cyber Metropolitan Museum of Art. Yeah, it really is, because the artisan stamp take this work that they do on top of the stamp protocol very seriously, because they are constrained by the file size. So it takes a lot of ingenuity. It takes a lot of creativity to actually create art with those type of restrictions. So take a look at the Nakamoto stamp index. Very cool index. What they do is they will they have scientists, by the way. We're talking about scientists, and these scientists will look at all of the art that's submitted, and then they will choose different artists to highlight. They're actually doing a vote right now. So if you want to submit your art to the Nakamoto Stamp Index, or be considered for the 5th index, get over to the Nakamoto Stamp Index and get your favorites in there. Okay. Anybody want to jump in here? Anybody want to jump in here? Because there's some great artists. I see one of the we've been going for a little while here, but I see Morty Len. He is actually one of the curators and creators of that stamp Nakamoto Index. He's a digital art alchemist, on-chain art preservation, and immutability. The immutability is so important. Well, especially if you're an artist and if you're taking all that time to create, you certainly don't want somebody to come along and scrub it. You really don't. Okay. So if you're coming to Bitcoin, and if you don't have art in your portfolio, I have to scratch my head and ask why. Why wouldn't you have art in your portfolio, in your bag? People, do you understand the power of art? Is anybody going to jump in here and back me up, or am I going to just keep talking? Somebody come up here.
Hey, Manny, what's up? But definitely, indeed, truly had, the power of immutable art, I think still the people are still not realizing that it's a revolution. Stamp is a true revolution. This is a digital revolution. This is the first time in humankind that you can have immutable, technology and.
Oh.
Hello?
No, you're here. We hear background there, but yeah, no, it's immutable. Did we lose you? I think we lost him.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, indeed. So the power of immutable art. I was saying that this is a revolution for this digital world. Frankly convinced for that. By the way,
can you pin that nsidirectory.com? nsidirectory.com. We really need to start highlighting one artist per space, and just having their artwork just kind of having some presence there so that people will see what we're talking about. These stamps are kind of like a stamp, like a postage stamp. Can you imagine having to do art within that size? you know, like a little postage stamp. That's why it's for me, it is very powerful art and very valuable art because the creativity, like I said, that it takes to come up with, you know, the artwork and just, I'm just looking at, I'm getting distracted. I'm looking at some of the art. I love Logic's art here. Stamp number 892091. That was a pretty cool piece of work here. There, I'm at the nsidirectory.com right now, and they have featured stamp artworks. Go and take a look at that. If you are interested in picking up stamp art, where can you do that? Well, you can do that on, there is Stamp Ninja. Go to Stamp Ninja and you can take a look. You can actually buy directly from the artists in many cases from Stamp Ninja. There are other places to get the art, such as, conveniently, yeah, you guessed it, the Universe. Absolutely. If you have a Universe wallet, you can head over to bitcoinuniverse.io, click Stamp, and then you're going to see about how many pages now of artwork. These are some resales, 9 pages. And in fact, I'm going to shout out HNFT Pepe because he has listed some pretty interesting art here. Okay. Yeah, HNFT Pepe. Love, love, love his stuff. He did some Cubism Olga. God, I messed that up yesterday. That was hilarious. Hey, but I'm going to try to get it right today. Let me go and get it. Let me go and get it. Interesting space today, by the way. We never know how it's going to go on Stamp with Attitude. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you jumping back?
Great space indeed. Very space.
Yeah, we never know what we're going to get, eh, Bitcoin Ape?
Yeah, it's 100% so because I was a kid in my background. So, but yes, indeed, you know, a very good space as always, really hard, you know, and always, you know, surprise, you know, more, you know, the more we are going, you know, on this, you know, this space, the more I'm surprised, you know, all the time with you know, SWA, you know, always some surprise. It's great.
Absolutely. Let me just say this. Do not be surprised if 47 pops by. That's all I'm going to say, okay? May not be today, but do not be surprised if 47 or somebody within that circle pops by. That's all I'm going to tell you, okay? I don't have a professional voice for no reason. Now, let me get back to HNFT at HNFT Pepe. Here's what he says. Cubism Olga.stamp, you know me, come on, is now available at Bitcoin Unified. Love how he's plugging the universe. Good for him. Cubism Olga is dedicated to the 2014 at Counterparty XCP on-chain asset Olga. Yeah, Cubism Olga will be airdropped to the first 3 collectors of Cubism Olga.stamp. I'm going to read a little bit more about it because that's what HNFT Pepe was telling me to do. Because JP Hansen is a pretty important individual. Okay. So here, I'm going to just share a little bit more about JP Hansen. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now, hey, there are the oldest known, these are the oldest known NFTs. Okay. There's Olga. That's a literal definition of an NFT. It's a non-fungible token. By the way, non-fungible token is actually a legal term. Yeah, go look it up. It's a legal thing. A lawyer created it. Anyhow, JP Gold, a limited edition token, so-called one NFT. Then there's the JPJA, the second, and the first NFT project. These were all created by JP Jansen, June 2014. Also in 2015, what he was the first to add immutability to crypto trading cards. Okay. There's so much stuff here. You've got to go and get this information. Go and take a look at this post from HNFT Pepe. And let's see, when did he post that?
this was just yesterday, I believe, March 17th. Okay, March 17th. And go over to bitcoinuniverse.io and you're going to see stamp 937448. Pick that up. Listen, peeps, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5 of them. Okay, stamp 937448. Write them down. Okay, write them down. There are 5 here, and you can pick them up because they have just been uploaded to the Bitcoin Universe marketplace for stamp. Pretty cool. And you know what I haven't done? You know what I haven't done? I haven't shilled for the universe. Oh my God. I'm going to shill for them just a second here. Hey, if you're new, the Bitcoin Universe is building out a marketplace, and you might ask, where is that marketplace? The APIs, they in the back chats, in the back rooms, haven't received the APIs, or there's some stuff that's still being worked out. So in the interim, the universe is looking at maybe bringing a pump fund type model to stamp. Okay. Updates are incoming, but know that they want to actually bring the marketplace to you, but we're still waiting on the APIs. Okay, people. So as we are waiting for that, please do consider some of the tools that, okay, I've been told it's not a tool, but please consider iStamps. iStamps are a token that will earn you 50% monthly marketplace revenue with the iStamps. You get passive income for life if you hold a minimum of 10. So anytime sales are transacted from the stamp marketplace, which is the art, or the SRC20, which is coming to the universe, then 50% of those fees you would earn passive income for life. Now, the universe wallet has been here 12 months. This is the shill part, because we've been doing a lot of talking. So look, give me a moment here, okay? Let me shill. We have hey, I just got here in the fall. They just picked me up off the streets, okay? Literally, yeah, they picked me up off the streets. Now I do the spaces, okay? But the team, yeah, I'm a part of the team. Yeah, I guess so. But the devs, yes, they started Stamp last year, March. So this is the 1-year anniversary. Amazing. And Stamp is out here. The universe is out here doing a ton of stuff. So universe, let's get that right, started the wallet, started this Bitcoin wallet, started this marketplace, started this indexer explorer 1 year ago. And they started off with the TAP protocol. Okay. The TAP protocol is where they built all of this. And so once they started building, then they took on, they took steps to bring on more. Okay. And what's the more? Well, let me just quickly tell you. If you want to store your ordinals here, you can do that. You can store your BRC20, your runes, obviously your TAP, your DMT, your UNAT, your bitmaps, your LRC20, SRC20. Yeah. And we actually should talk about some tokens. So we will. There's domains, like you can get domain names, .btc, .sats. Quite incredible. And I will say this. The domain name registration, folks, the SRC 101 domain name registration, they actually chose Stamp. If you go and read their orange paper, they chose protocol Stamp for their domain names. And why did they choose Stamp? Well, because it's an immutable data storage protocol. These are now facts that I'm sharing, okay? So that's for some plugging for the universe, okay? I want to ask all of you, like, hey, they're sponsoring the event. They're the reason why people are just popping in here, like from everywhere, and just sharing their story. So go today to bitcoinuniverse.io. Go look at the wallet. Yeah, go look at the marketplace. Go check out the Explorer. Go check out the index. And do me a solid. Go over to YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Okay. And go and subscribe, okay? Come on, peeps. Last time I checked, there was
There was under 100 subscribers. What are you doing? Go and subscribe.
When next is this space gonna be held?
When is this space going to be what?
When next is the space gonna be held?
Oh, when is it going to be held? Okay. This specific space for SWA. By the way, SWA is Stamp with Attitude, is held every Wednesday. Starts at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we just end it whenever. Like, we probably could be ending it in 5 minutes, but we just end it whenever. So what? Before you go, Manny, just let me get some sauce on you. What's going on with you? What's happening with you, Manny? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I don't think we've talked, have we? Yes, maybe.
No. I'm currently on transit. That's why I asked. So I have to leave now. Hopefully I'll join in the next space. That's why I asked that question earlier.
Oh, very good. Did you enjoy the space today, Manny?
Yeah, sure, I did. I even wanted to contribute some certain things, but unfortunately, I've got to leave.
Okay, very good. Go check us out, Manny, and come back again. Yeah, no, let's get some shout outs. Thank you, Manny. I'm going to shout out some people and then we'll just round it up here. But want to shout out Manny, thank you. Sadie Riggs. Let me just tell you a little bit about Sadie here. Many of you know Sadie, GameStop, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. But Sadie is now, I should have mentioned this, a Universe brand ambassador. So congrats, Sadie. And I do have a song for Sadie. Love me some Sadie. Yeah, that's Sadie's song. Okay. Made it specifically for Sadie. Pretty cool. Morty Len, thank you for coming. You are an artist of your word. We repped the NSI index there. Peeps, please go and check that out. NSIdirectory.com. NSIdirectory.com. Yeah, please go and follow at LENTYMOR. Morty Len, very important individual in the stamp community, always repping. HNFT Pepe, absolutely go and follow at HNFT Pepe. Quite amazing digital artist, stamps, fake rares, rare cocos. You knew I just wanted to say that. Has a link tree. Yes, linktr.ee/HNFT Pepe. Absolutely. And go check out some of those stamps that he's uploaded on the Bitcoin universe. Bitcoin universe, I can't say more of. You guys are quite amazing. Hey, okay, let me talk about Patience Believer. Thank you. I see the work you're doing out there for the stamp community. Soldier, quite amazing. Thank you for what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to be giving out flowers here and awards. Patience Believer, thank you for repping Stamp. Stamp SRC20. People, do not sleep on Stamp SRC20. Okay, don't do it. Babalicious, yes. Synonymous. Poet, digital dreamscaper, wordings, haiku, short form poetry. Yeah, Bitcoin stamps. Absolutely go and follow Babalicious, doing a ton of work for the stamp community. Thank you so much. Web3 baby, very big in Nigeria, I hear. Very famous. Founder at Tech Sister Hub and Web3 Event Nexus, community builder manager, Ugly Duck Labs. Web3 baby, you are an ambassador. Next time you got to come and share that with us. And we got some sauce from the prince. Carly Ray, want to say hello to Carly Ray. Very fantastic person. I think Carly Ray might be related to Love Me Some Sadie. But Carly Ray, pretty awesome person out there doing her thing out in the Great White North there. Canada. Yeah. just a fantastic support that Carly Ray always gives. So we want to thank Carly Ray, give her flowers, and she's learning about Bitcoin. And I think she, today you can see that Bitcoin, my God, so much to learn. We have people in Bitcoin that are wiretapping mushrooms. Listen to the show, people. They're wiretapping mushrooms. Who just popped in here? BitGoddesses? AI artists? Researcher AI? Okay. Not sure if you want to say anything. Oh, yes. Okay, BitGoddesses. Come up here. Who are you?
I am in the stamp community. I'm an early artist, under 15,000, and I'm also a stamp collector from 2023.
Oh my God! Please, hold on a second. I'm gonna big you up in a big way. You said you're a stamp artist. Could you bring your voice a little bit closer to your microphone? Because if you will allow me, we are gonna big you up like you would not believe. Okay. Can you come a little bit closer here? I think we have a stamp artist here, people. Exclusive.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, just come a little bit closer. So we got an exclusive here. Please go and follow BitGoddesses. This is a stamp artist. OMG, I'm so excited. I am fanning out right now. Tell me a little bit about you specifically.
A lot of stories. I've been in the crypto space. I was a counsel at PayPal since until 2012, and I'm a mentor at different accelerators, and I used to advise a number of different Web3 companies, and pretty OG, I say. I created some conferences in 2013 on virtual currency, and did a token one as well with Stanford in 2017, and basically make metaverses code and do a couple of different things in the ecosystem.
Wow, what a breadth of work that you're doing. So can you tell us a little bit about your art? And as you tell us a little bit about your art, what are you mostly stamping? And then where do we get your art, and how can we support you specifically? So tell us a little bit about your art.
Sure. I created a bunch of collections on stamps early on. I think my first one is a dollar sign. It's an SVG files, and then it cost me like $300 or something to mint. And it took a couple days. To actually went to the Bitcoin blockchain, but I knew that it would be there, even though it took a while. And the other is just collections. I did the fine art collection, so I did a bunch of waves and things like that. Also did something called Bull Punk. So I collaborated with a community that trades, and I make like I think we had like a number of bulls. So you can check them out. I forgot the exact numbers, but I do have like a number of different connections on stamps.
Wow. Okay. If you could, for us here, let me just see if I can bring some stuff up here. But people, you're hearing it right now. We're talking to an artist here that is been stamping for quite some time now, and just sharing your experience. Why have you chosen stamps specifically to do your artwork?
I love stamps. I think Ordinals is kind of different because Ordinals are like you have to split them and stuff like that. But stamps is easy. They're smaller. I mean, they're like when I make them, they were I don't know about now, but when I make them, it was only 24 by 24. So I thought it was challenging, right? Because you have to make it really small. But at the same time, I learned how to make pixel art. And also save a lot of space in terms of storage and all that. So it was a lot of fun, So I was like making stamps almost every day, and I heard that it passed 1 million, so I was really excited about that.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal. Like, how did we get here, right? 1 million, like 1 million stamps. That's pretty exciting to think that it just started as an ideal in the Mike and the Space's head, and then got to the Arwin and got to the Renamora, and here we are, right? Pretty big. And how did you just kind of come on into this space?
Oh, 8 invited. The Bitcoin 8 invited me.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So have you uploaded any of your artwork on the universe? You should probably reach out to HNFT Pepe because he's been uploading some of his artwork to bitcoinuniverse.io, because they are now we now have a marketplace for stamp art. So is there any, hopefully you're still there. Is there any of your collection that is some stuff that's coming out or we can look forward to, or where do we go right now to pick up your art?
Sure. Yeah, later. Once I'm actually in my car driving. So I'll share it later,
Okay.
or I can join the next call. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, come back to us. We do this every Wednesday, so that's pretty cool. I was just kind of rounding out and wrapping up the space, and I thought, oh my goodness, we have a stamp artist, so we want to kind of give them a little bit of opportunity to come out and share with us. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hey, before I go though, I do have to do this, people. I got to just share a little bit the 2 tokens here. Maybe 3 in fact, but stamp. Okay. Right now, the stamp token, let's talk about that. It's not an official token. It's just a community token, but it is a token that has the name of the protocol. Having a very good day, by the way. Yes. So if you didn't pick it up for a cent, less than a lemonade. Yeah. Have you ever been to a lemonade stand, people? Less than a lemonade. Then it is moving up. But what I want to point out is the holders of SRC20 stamp token, the holders of SRC20 stamp token is rising. We now have 10,806 holders. It is rising daily. That is interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, hey, it's interesting. Okay. And stamp is having a green day. It's having a green day, 23% up. And in the last 24 hours, 0.1 BTC volume. So some interesting things to look at, people. It's still some possible good entries here, but not financial advice. The only thing I can tell you about the stamp SRC20 token is, number 1, Mike has nothing to do with it. Number 2, Arwin has nothing to do with it. And number 3, Renamora has nothing to do with it. Peeps, stop asking them to pump the stamp token. I don't even think they own it. They didn't even know it was being made. It's literally somebody in the community that made it, and good for them, because why wouldn't you want a token to be the name of the protocol? So this token was just made by a community member, and then those of us that got to, go out there and mint it, that's what we did. And for those of us that are still holding it, we seem to have a belief that there'll be more sexes coming to list this. We've got KuCoin that has listed this, and I think we have SuperX out there in Vietnam that's listed it. And we're kind of waiting for some others. There's a belief that OKX might. They haven't given any major indication, so please move with caution. Now, Binance hasn't given any major announcements, but they sure are giving some education around stamp SRC20 token. They keep coming up with these Binance academies. What is stamp? And they compare it to Ordinals, BRC20. And the thing that they keep pointing out, and which I think is really interesting, is that it is an immutable data storage protocol. Hey, that's what they're saying. Outside of that, they haven't given us any indication that they're going to list it, but I just think it is interesting because their last update was January 8th. And then prior to that, we had one on October 4th. And I mean, there's been several throughout 2024. I believe that there's something that they want from the stamp. There's something that they want from the stamp. I am not for sure on this, but there's something that they want from it. So if Binance is circling, their wagons are circling the stamp, well, you figure it out. Could be something, could be absolutely could be absolutely just, it is what it is sort of thing. But I would not say it's a nothing burger. Okay, so keep your eye on SRC20 stamp. Also, because first is always first, Kevin, keep your eye on Kevin. Kevin is having a red day. Why would you want to keep your eye on Kevin? Because it's a funny story. Literally, Renamora tells a story about how he and Arwin, I guess they had stamped a specific stamp, and in the night, in the wee hours, while Renamora is sleeping, this stamp just starts stamping itself over and over again, like the ghost in the machine. And so they couldn't figure out what was happening. And so this whole quirky, movement of everybody being a Kevin starts to unfold. And Kevin then became the first SRC20 token. We have to get Renamore on here so he can share the story, which much more in depth and with probably greater humor than I can. But that's why Kevin is so cool, because it was the first minted token. Okay. And typically if you're involved in anything, first is first. So Kevin is the first minted token, and that is on SRC20 having a red day. It's down 1.47%. There hasn't been any volume in the last 24 hours. Let's just be honest here, but there's some pretty good pickups. You could pick up 30,000 tokens at 4.7 sats per unit. And so that's a total of 0.0014 BTC. Why might you do that? I don't know. Maybe it's a way you can stack sats. Some of these won't be valuable until they're valuable. But when they do become valuable, you will not have a time machine. That's just how it works. You can beat up a Tesla or you can pick up Kevin. It's up to you. I don't know. You figure it out. Okay. Okay, the Bitcoin ape is kind of back. But we just want to say thank you. Bitcoin ape, if you have anything final that you want to say. Laser Dog, by the way, thank you for being around. Yeah, Laser Dog, thank you for being around. We're gonna wrap it up, but hey, Sonic, what's up? Sonic, what's going on? You want to say something? If you want to say something, unmute yourself, Sonic. Bitcoin Ape, do you have any final words you want to say, or are you only listening right now? Give me a thumbs up if oh God, who's that? Give me a thumbs up if you have nothing more to say, Bitcoin Ape. But I do like that you. Can you give me an emoji, Bitcoin Ape, if you have nothing more to say? Then we'll round it out here. Okay, he's got nothing more to say. We're going to round it out. Thanks, peeps. It's been a really good show. This is going to go on the YouTube. Go and check out bitcoinuniverse.io, yada, yada. I'm coming back tomorrow, but tomorrow is going to be just, it's not just. Let me tell you what tomorrow's going to be about. It's, I got to rustle up more people on the Thursday spaces because we're going to talk more about what's happening around us. Yeah, what's happening around us. Like, why are people beating up Teslas and stuff? Let's see. What is tomorrow? Okay, yeah, this is it. Bitcoin is hope. Change is on the move. Okay, so come out tomorrow, 10 a.m. PST. Oh, what are we going to talk about? The headlines, the good, bad, and the ugly. Then we're going to share with you how to change the narrative and build momentum. And we're going to give you some tips on how to stack sats and prosper, because that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, you should be prospering. Have a great day. Yeah, have a great day. Thanks for coming out. Bye.